And then I said, oatmeal, are you crazy?
Hey, Bright, Editor, how you guys doing?
Great.
Just fine.
So what brings you here?
Well, actually, it's funny I ran into you guys. I'm just about to do a video on the Pony Creator, and I was going to cite the video you guys did. Think you might want to help me out with it a bit?
Oh no. No. Not again. Never again.
Was it something I said?
Oh no, he's still a bit skittish about the subject because of our video.
Why?
Because I accidentally teleported him to another dimension at the end of it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I should probably go check on him.
Yeah, probably. Well, have fun with that. I'm going to do my video now. Later.
See ya!
In the not too distant future, next Sunday AD, there was a guy named Joel, not too different from you or me. They work at Gizmonic Institute.
Okay. Hold up. I have a reason for using that theme. Just step away from the keyboards and let me explain. Yeah, that means you. You. Fingers down. Alright then. So then, let's talk about the Pony Creator. There has been a lot of discussion about this thing. There is a very well done video by my friends Bright Idea and the editor that I suggest you guys check out. I mean, after you finish watching this video, of course. Gotta focus on my own view count, too. Anyway, the Pony Creator is either a helpful tool that people who aren't artistic can use to bring their OCs to life, or the bane of the fandom that is drowning everyone out in crappy red and black OCs. So, where do I fall on the spectrum? Well, I think that should be pretty obvious, especially since, again, I'm skirting the whole red and black OC thing myself. But yeah, since my show would literally not be possible without it, I really enjoy the Pony Creator. And while I admit there are people who can kind of abuse it, I really don't see the harm. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, people make some OCs that maybe aren't that great, but that's a thing they wanted to do. It's something they did to show their love of the show, and I don't see how that's a bad thing. Honestly, I just don't see how something can be a plague on the fandom that's ruining the community when the solution is, just don't look at it. It seems simple enough to me. But there are so many, particularly artists, who take it as the bane of their existence. As I said, I've seen quite a few videos about it, and most of them are negative. Heck, that's why I liked Bright and Editor's video of it. It was actually positive. But what gets me the most are the kinds of complaints I hear about it. How it's limiting and not creative, and people make really bad OCs with it. And I'm like, really? I mean, granted, there are some limitations, especially expression-wise, but it's still not as bad as they're making it out to be. And there's a wide variety of poses, and then you can customize your own poses. I've done that quite a bit, actually. As for the designs, well, to each their own. Yeah, there have been some not great ones, but I feel this would happen regardless. The Pony Creator does make it easier to get these designs out there, but if that's what someone has in their head, well, they're going to get out one way or another. The best thing to do would be to encourage them and say, hey, maybe you should work on this, rather than just flat out hate them. And there is hate. A lot of hate. Again, particularly by artists, and I can't help but feel that some of that may be a little bit of jealousy. Especially since time after time, the most common advice I've heard, instead of using the Pony Creators, just hire an artist. Yeah, get some commissions done. Just get a commission. Get someone to commission your OC. After hearing that time and time again, honestly, what I really think of is, well, kind of this.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into Jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
Just replace the word job with art, and that's basically it. And I'm really not trying to offend anyone here, but guys, it seems like you're just shilling for yourself. I mean, that's great for people who can afford it, but I can't. I'll make a lot of money. And to be honest, the money I do make kinda goes towards this. Yeah, that's my hobby, and it's kind of expensive. Now, to be fair, the other advice I've heard a lot is, well, learn to draw yourself. And that sounds good, but I've tried. Oh, sweet Celestia, have I tried for years. I just can't do it. And it gets more and more frustrating every time. Plus, as a supposed adult, I have a lot of responsibilities now with a full-time job and keeping track of the lawn and stuff, so I don't really have a lot of time to set aside and try to draw. Especially with doing these videos now, ironically enough. So for me, the Pony Creator is really the best option. And I still don't see anything wrong with that. Is it going to look as polished as some of the other videos? No. I get that. I've accepted that. I mean, from the videos I've seen, I'm doing everything wrong here. I'm using the Pony Creator, I'm using Movie Maker, I'm using Photoshop, and those are all 3 things you shouldn't use to make videos. But the question is, why? And usually the response is, well, those things are all bad. And again, why? Who decided they were bad? Why is there such a stigma around them? Okay, so they're bargain basement stuff. They're cheap. They don't look good. But you know what else kind of looked cheap and didn't look good and you just first glanced at it? A little show called Mystery Science Theater 3000. See? Told you there's a reason I used the theme. Yeah, if you didn't know anything about that show going in and you just stumbled upon it when it used to be on TV, you'd think, well, this is the dumbest, cheapest crap I've ever seen. Look at those puppets. Those are clearly a gumball machine and a thing with a bowling pin on it. And look at that background. That's completely cheap. What is this thing? If you judged it based purely on its aesthetics, you would miss out on one of the best shows ever created. Because not only are they just a funny group of people, but they work with their cheapness. They work within the constraints they have. And they do it so well. And while I'm certainly not going to compare myself to them, or even some other YouTubers I've seen, I like to think I've worked very well within the constraints I have. And with every video I make, I do try to push myself to the limits. I try new things. I try to figure out what I can and can't do. And it does get incredibly frustrating to think that some people are basing my videos purely on how they look. That because I don't have the animation of like Silver Quill or some of the others, that my message, what I have to say, is somehow less valid? That's kind of insulting, actually. And really, let's say I do find a way to make my own vectors and I can have my own expressions and poses and everything. What really would be the end result of that? Because the mechanics of it are all the same. It's still just a puppet that I would move around to match what I was saying. It would just look better. Maybe even just slightly better. And really, are we that superficial? Isn't basing something on just appearance the whole reason people freaked out when they heard about bronies? And admit it, we all had to take a moment to look past the surface of Friendship is Magic to get what was really good inside. The same thing can be applied to video makers who use the Pony Creator. Is it a bright, shiny surface? Well, maybe not. But underneath that, there might be something worth looking into. Personally, I thank General Zoe for coming up with the Pony Creator and keeping it around after all the crap she had to deal with people insulting her for it. Like I said, this show, as it is now, would not be possible without it. And because of that, because of the year I've had making this show, of the people I've met, the new friends I've made, I will keep defending the Pony Creator. And speaking of defending things that upset people in the Brony fandom, join me next time when I go back to the world of Equestria Girls and compare Principal Celestia to Princess Celestia. Until then, I am Birdie and... What? You went with a red and black OC. Wait. I've seen this guy somewhere before. Yeah, you were the jerk I pointed to in my unicorn video. And wait, weren't you also on the beach when Fast Track threw me in the volcano? You mean you could have had a body this whole time? And then I shot him! Oh, don't worry, it's just some weird construct he made. It'll be fine. So what do you think, sirs?
The button, Frank.
Well, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into job land where jobs grow on jobbies?